We're going to jump right into it tonight. My name is Allen Devlin, and I am an anchor here with Atlanta News First. Thank you so much for joining us on the First Alert desk. We've got a couple of stories that I want to talk to you guys about today. And our top stories, if you're new here, thanks for joining us. If you are someone who's been jumping in on these things 8 o'clock with me or Savannah for the past couple of weeks here, you know the drill. I'm going to walk you all through three of our top stories today, and that is a revolving carousel of stories each day. We're here every evening at 8 o'clock if you are unable to watch our newscast, or if you want to just get a little bit of extra news in between our 7 and our 9. We're going to jump right into this one today with one of our top stories tonight. A man was shot and killed in southeast Atlanta by police earlier this evening. Our reporter Carly Barnett is out there right now. They've been on that scene all evening. I want to show you what that scene looks like. This is a look at how it's been, and we're told that it's still active right now as well. Officers say that this all started actually on Memorial Drive around 1 o'clock when a man was walking around loading a gun. Police responded, and that's when that suspect, shot, according to police, shot at cruisers and then took off. He made his way to this Valero gas station on Moreland Avenue, which is what you're looking at right here. This is the scene. Police say he went inside and got into it with the clerks inside that store with that gun in his hand. He eventually walked out of that gas station, according to police, brandished that gun, pointed it at officers, and that's when officers opened fire, shooting and killing that suspect. Now, one officer was injured in this incident. We're working to learn the exact conditions of that officer. We do not have a suspect name at this time, the man who was shot and killed by police at that gas station, but we're going to have more updates. The latest information coming up at 9, 10, and 11 on Atlanta News First on our Peachtree Station, our sister station, Peachtree TV. So be sure to tune in, and Carly and our photographer, who are still at that scene right now, will be able to provide more of an update. And again, it remains active, so do not try and go to the Valero gas station there on Moreland Avenue and Memorial. Pretty much locked up, shut down, caution tape surrounding that entire perimeter. The next story I want to talk to you guys about is an update, a good update to what is a sad story, in that we've got, make sure I get the right lower third down here. A man has been arrested in the homicide investigation of a transgender woman who was shot and killed here in Atlanta about 2 weeks ago. So I want to show you what police put out a couple of days ago. They were looking for this gentleman here. They said, if you see this gentleman or you know this gentleman, give us a call. He is a suspect in this ongoing investigation. This is a better look at him right here. Police say that they believed he had something to do with the shooting and killing of the transgender woman, also known as Coco the Doll. She is actually a pretty famous woman, and she was supposed to be in the Atlanta Film Festival going on this week before she was tragically shot and killed. And I want to pull up this video right here. This is a different video, but it does include pictures of Coco the Doll actually in it as it cycles through. And let me see, I apologize there. But like I was saying, this man has been arrested. 19-year-old Jermarcus Jernigan is right now in police custody in connection to the death of Coco the Doll. They don't really have the details or motive on why police say he's the one that pulled the trigger. They're still investigating. This remains an open investigation, but it was in addition to what was 2 other shootings involving transgender women here in Atlanta, which is a disturbing trend, because what we're also seeing is a rise in hate crimes and a rise in violence against our transgender community, not only in Georgia, but across the entire country in recent years. And that's never, ever, ever, ever a good thing. This is Coco the Doll right here. This is the video I wanted to show you guys with some pictures of that woman who was shot and killed. It's an unfortunate story. Her family is still seeking justice. And 19-year-old Jermarcus Jernigan is, innocent until proven guilty. He will go through the justice system, and we will, let you know if he is ever convicted of this shooting. But right now, police say they believe they have their man. May Coco the Doll rest in peace. And the last story I want to talk to you guys about tonight before I turn it over for weather is, honestly, it's a mess, and you guys already know what's going down this weekend. We've got a whole lot of stuff happening all over the metro, and by all over the metro, I mean in one succinct block right here in downtown Atlanta. State Farm Arena, Mercedes-Benz Arena, the Georgia World Congress Center, all three are going to be active for the next couple of days here, being that you have not only Hawks Game 6 tonight when they're playing the Boston Celtics, hoping to force a Game 7, which will be back in Boston, but you've got Janet Jackson, who performed last night at State Farm Arena and was supposed to perform tonight, but State Farm double booked and they assigned Hawks Game 6 here as well as Janet Jackson the same night. Janet Jackson has been moved back to tomorrow, so she'll have her second of two shows tomorrow at State Farm. And then a stone's throw away, Taylor Swift will be at Mercedes-Benz Stadium for 3 consecutive nights, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, in what is going to be, I think, the biggest concert in Mercedes-Benz Stadium history, being that she sold out, the only artist to sell out Mercedes-Benz for 3 consecutive nights ever here in Atlanta, which is just ridiculous. But what you have with that is an ongoing heightened need to keep everybody safe. It is a big job. You've got about 200,000 plus people coming through that area in the next 3 days, whether it be for the concerts or for the Hawks game. It's a lot of security needed. And what you're looking at is police already getting ready to step up patrols, already getting ready to respond if something happens, already putting things in place to keep people safe. Now, what you have is the businesses in the area, like this gentleman right here who sells cheesesteaks right on that corner. Excited. Super ready for all of that additional business because, yeah, no matter what, when you have that many people coming through downtown in a weekend, everybody in there that's selling something is going to be making some money, whether it's food, whether it's merchandise, no matter what it is. These restaurants and these businesses and these shops and these bars are hyped and ready to go, and that's the opposite end of the spectrum. Now, if you're going downtown and you're going to be in the area of Mercedes-Benz Stadium or anything like that for any of these concerts or State Farm, you're being, I guess, it's strongly suggested you take public transportation or rideshare. There are no parking spots available. Every single parking spot at Mercedes-Benz is sold out the entire way through Taylor Swift. So if you're trying to sneak in and get a parallel spot, it's unlikely, I'll be honest, because not only are you going to have so many of these diehard fans showing up hours and hours and hours ahead of time, you've still got the basic normal traffic that comes through downtown Atlanta on any given Saturday. This is just adding to that. So MARTA, rideshare is your best bet. If you're going to be in downtown for anything, leave hours and hours early. Don't try and, concert's at 7:30. I'm going to, leave my house at 5:30. It's not going to work. I don't care where you live. It's not going to work. I live right here in Midtown, and I'm pretty sure it would take me an hour just to get into a car and get from my apartment in Midtown to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That's what kind of timing we're looking at here when it comes to tomorrow night, Saturday night, Sunday night. And I think Mercedes-Benz is 2 miles from me, an hour for 2 miles. If you've been in downtown Atlanta through any of these things, whether it be concerts, performances, games, Hawks games, Falcons games, it becomes a gridlock. Ivan Allen Boulevard is never a good road to be on when there's a lot of stuff going down. But like I said, Hawks are facing the Celtics tonight. We'll see if they can get a win. Hopefully they can. Force a Game 7 back in Boston over the weekend. Taylor Swift is coming to town tomorrow at Mercedes-Benz, and Janet Jackson is coming to town tomorrow as well, returning to the stage at State Farm Arena. So just be safe, be careful. Atlanta police doing everything they can to make sure that everybody has a great time and a great weekend, and maybe we'll make some history here. We're already set to have the most people inside the stadium on 3 consecutive nights ever. It's a relatively new stadium. It's one of the nicest stadiums in the country, I might say, but hopefully everything goes off without a hitch. And if you're heading to any of those events, or if you're, heading to the Hawks game tonight, you're already at the Hawks game, and you happen to be watching Atlanta News First broadcast on your cell phone, sitting in your seats waiting on Trae Young to drop 50, good luck to the Atlanta Hawks. That's all I have for you guys tonight. I'm going to turn it over right now to meteorologist Patrick Pete, who's been looking at what's been a nasty stretch of weather, honestly, but thankfully, for the most part, the worst of it, the wettest of it is behind us. I'm going to let him take over and talk about our next couple of days because we do have a first alert coming up.
Yes, sir. Thankfully, we have a little bit of dry time, at least comparatively dry. Today was a bit messy. I don't know if you guys all got out and about, but man, clouds, dreary. When the rain was light, it was annoying. When it was heavier for some folks, it was annoying. We had some rumbles of thunder. Thankfully, no severe thunderstorms, but definitely an active weather day, which is the reason why today was definitely a first alert. Meanwhile, we do have rain opportunities that are going to be building as we head through the next couple of days. I expect Friday to be drier than what we saw yesterday. forgive me, I knew that was going to happen. I'm expecting Friday to be drier than what we saw today. Some spotty pop-ups in the afternoon, but nothing that should be too overwhelming. Better rain chances for Sunday, and that's where that next first alert comes into play. If you have any plans for Sunday, just be prepared for it to be a bit damp, especially earlier on. Rain and thunderstorms rolling in early morning and going to linger through early afternoon. That's going to segue into a pretty dry start to next week, with temperatures that are going to be above average eventually by the end of next week. Here's how we get through tomorrow, and here's why that rain chance is at 30%, because it's a coverage and the confidence thing here. We do expect some lingering moisture to be trailing. Pretty spotty at 7 a.m. Shouldn't impact too many folks as they're getting on the road tomorrow morning. As we head into the afternoon, that's where those pop-ups are going to arrive. These pop-ups are going to be annoying. There's going to be some breaks in the clouds. That's going to allow for temperatures to climb into the 70s, so there's going to be a little bit of energy there. So we could have a rumble of thunder or two embedded. This doesn't look to be an overwhelming situation, but we'll be watching it, of course. Eventually, all of that energy tapers down as we head into the evening hours. We lose the sun, and that is our energy source, so we will see things start to diminish as we head into the evening hours. Meanwhile, heading into Saturday, it's looking a little bit drier. I know lots of you are looking forward to getting out and about, getting around the city, having fun. A good mix of sun and clouds earlier on. The clouds do thicken up as we head through the second half of the day. Looks like that moisture, though, is going to hold off until early Sunday morning, which is good news for everybody who's going to any one of the events that are going on Saturday night. Meanwhile, the forecast for the Craft Beer Festival is looking pretty sweet. 70 degrees by 11. Festival kicks off at 1 Atlantic Station. We're at 75 degrees, and then we're headed towards 80 degrees as we head into the afternoon. I do think we'll get that for about an hour or so. Meanwhile, all attention to our first alert, which is Sunday. Folks that are getting out of the house and getting ready to go to church, that's where we're expecting these showers to really be building in. Some rumbles of thunder for sure possible embedded in this, and that's going to linger into lunchtime. So just be prepared for that. It is going to be a bit messy, and then those showers start to taper off as we head into the evening hours. We'll see those rain chances diminish by 8, 9 o'clock, and we're clearing out, which is going to segue us into next week, which is looking pretty good as far as temperatures are concerned. A little chilly in the morning on Monday, but we're flirting with 70 degrees both afternoons, Monday and Tuesday. So that's a little chilly, but nothing that's too unmanageable for us. And then as we head into Wednesday, we finally hit that 70-degree mark, warming into the mid-70s by Thursday. So we're looking pretty dry as we head into next week. The story is going to really be those temperatures that are going to be a little chilly Monday. So all we have to do now is just get through these next couple of days. This system is still kind of lingering, isn't going to be as impactful tomorrow, which is why there's no first alert. Just a spotty pop-up in the afternoon for the most part. And then we're watching Sunday for that rain and those thunderstorms. Temperatures are going to dip, and we'll be back into the mid-70s by the end of next week. I'm checking you all out on Facebook, and it's a quiet night. What's going on, Michael? There's not a lot of folks out here. I get it. It's Thursday, and y'all are probably getting ready for the weekend. Folks are talking about going all 3 nights to the Taylor Swift concert. I see you. That should be very fun for you. And I think our time has ended. So I'm going to leave you with the 7-day forecast so you can plan ahead for all of these events, knowing full well when those showers are going to be moving in. Another good tool to have, of course, the First Alert weather app. You can download that in the app in the Play Store. So for more updates on the forecast for tomorrow, you can tune in tonight at 9, 10, and 11. Y'all have a good night.